What's good with y'all, man? Question everything. What's good, my brother? Justy, what's good, my brother? Rap Star Boxing Knowledge, what's good, my brother? Hey, if you want to hop on the panel, man, if you want to hop on, I'll send you the link, man. If y'all want to hop on, man, I'm about to cook for a little minute, about a good hour or so. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to hop on, Rap Star Boxing Knowledge, if you want to hop on, man, you can. You know what I mean? Even question everything, brother. If you want to hop on, that's my brother right there. If you want to hop on, man, let me know. Anybody welcome to hop on the panel. JR Bell, what's good with you, my brother? Welcome to the live stream, man. If you want to hop on, man, I got a couple of things I want to talk about today, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you brothers want to hop on and you want to cook with me, hey, let me know. Yeah, I'm about to post the link now, JR Bill. About to post the link now. Y'all about to post the link now, so if y'all want to hop on, man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all more than welcome, man, so we can cook, you know what I mean? I'm back live again, so I'm ready to cook, you know what I mean? I got a couple of topics I want to talk about, you know what I mean? So let's cook, man. I'm here. Let's cook. I'm finna post the link in the Yeah, so y'all hit that link, man. Y'all hop on, man. That's cook, man. Like I said, I'm ready to cook, man. You know what I mean? I got Baba, you know what I'm saying? Hey, much love and respect, my brother. Welcome to the live stream, man. I'm back. MMA back surgeon. What's good with you, little bro? Let me add you as a moderator, man. Hey, MMA back surgeon. If you want to hop on, man, the link right there. You know what I'm saying? The link right there. I could probably, until I get, the other plan with StreamYard, where I can have like more than 10 people, it's coming. Right now I got like the little, just my first time on StreamYard in a long time. So I got the little free joint, but trust me, I'm gonna get right on StreamYard with going with that plan, that other plan. You can have more than 10 people on or something like that. Anita, what's going on with you? Anita, Dallin Pulley, what's good with you, my brother? Oh yeah, my brother Boxing Source is in the building. Let's bring him on. My brother the Boxing Source. Let me cut this music, man. You know what I'm saying? I always have to make my introduction. Let me cut this music. Let me cut that music, man, so I can hear my brother the Boxing Source.
Yo.
Yeah, the Boxing Source. You there, brother?
Yeah, man. This JR, man. What's happening with you, brother?
Hey, what's going on, JR Bell? Okay, you the Boxing Source. Okay.
Yeah,
bro. I didn't know that, man. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But how you been doing, man? What's been going on, my brother?
Oh, just been chilling, man. Just stuck in the building, snows over here in the DMV area. So.
Oh Lord, y'all, man. What is like 10 degrees or something like that?
Nah, it ain't like 10 degrees, but it hit like 20 degrees a couple days ago, man. But yeah, I'm all good though.
That's good. That's good to hear, man. As long as you're good, bro. You know what I mean? I know I'm very familiar with the cold weather, man. As far as Chicago and New York and you know what I mean, and Detroit, Michigan, and so I know how it is, man. That cold is something serious.
I ain't getting that far up, man. Like Detroit and Chicago is something completely different than being around here. So hey. Man, yeah, I don't want to touch that. I'm okay where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I feel you, my brother. Yeah, man, I just a couple of topics I wanted to touch up on, man. I haven't, I've been in YouTube jail, so I wasn't able to go live for like 3 months. You know what I mean? I had like 2 strikes and one more strike on my channel, man. And my channel was on its way to being terminated. So,
damn.
I did what I did. I learned my lesson. You know what I'm saying? I did something I wasn't really supposed to do, but I was looking out for a lot of people as far as showing a fight, you know what I mean? I felt that was free, and to show, so, and I learned my lesson, man, you do what you got to do, man. All I could do is be patient and, do my time in jail, YouTube jail, you know what I mean? And now, I'm back live again, man. But yeah, man, what you feel about this Canelo versus Saunders? I mean, I don't know have it been announced yet, because I'm doing a little bit of reading, and it seems like they trying to schedule the date for May, sometime in May.
Well, I mean, some of the folks out there in the boxing media have, put out the word that it is supposed to be, put together, like through the athletic or, those other guys like Hoppinger and, folks in the zone and stuff like that. But it goes into the whole little deal with Canelo and like Matchroom and whatnot. Like they want to work together for a couple of fights. So they're doing it for, the Yildirim fight in Miami. And then after that, it would be Billy Joe Saunders. I feel like it's going to be by May 1st, since they were supposed to fight May 2nd last year before the whole lockdown stuff went down. So this time around, it'll be a unification bout in the super middleweight. So as long as, Canelo gets through this Yildirim fight with no issues and is, 100% after that, then yeah, they're going to go forward with the fight in May.
Okay, so the next fight for him is the Yildirim bout.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
February 27th at Hard Rock Stadium. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking about going to that or something like that. Maybe
man, that's what's up, bro. Like, I mean, that's big, man. You're attending something big, event like that, man. That's something big right there, bro. You know what I'm saying? And but how you see that fight playing out? Canelo versus,
Billy Joe is just somebody that, like, to me is, like an off and on type of fighter, man. Like, he could be at the best of his game and be, a very good boxer, but at other times he'll feel like he just goes through the motions like Caleb Plant did last night. But I just feel like Canelo is somebody that's, more comfortable at super middleweight. And I just say, like, if you can't do anything that makes Canelo respect you, he's just going to walk through you. That's what you saw in the last fight that he had against Callum Smith. Like, Callum Smith, even with the length and reach and everything, he didn't have anything to make Canelo respect him. So Canelo just walked him down. And I feel like he's going to do the same thing with Billy Joe Saunders.
And do you think that, like, Canelo had to make him fight? Like, he had to fight down to Canelo height, or fight down, not fight necessarily tall. Canelo made him fight down, to his height, and things of that nature. Like, do you think that's kind of what took place? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Callum Smith basically he fights the way that Canelo likes, because Callum Smith is not really a guy that fights tall. He fights to, like, try to either walk through you or just try to get up close and then just, maul and beat down a fighter. So with him not necessarily using his reach or being active with the jab, that played into Canelo's hands. And so Canelo just said, if you're not going to be that active, I'm just going to walk through your punches or parry or block your punches and then counter. And then once I get to the inside, I'm going to just work you and beat you down, which is basically what he did throughout that fight. And Callum Smith didn't really take that many chances in that fight either. Like, I felt his brother took more chances against him than he did. So
yeah, I agree with that, man. Like, I feel like Callum Smith should have took more chances, but at the end of the day, I feel like basically what Canelo was doing, it kind of, like, do you think in a way that it kind of threw him off? Like, Canelo, made him fight a certain way, you know what I mean? And it's just Canelo, he's pretty much fell into that trap and fighting the way that Canelo wanted him to fight. You know what I mean? Do you believe something like that took place?
Nah, I think it was just a style that catered to Canelo, from the get-go. So, I didn't feel like Callum Smith was somebody that, wanted to, either fight off his back foot or at least try to be aggressive and use a jab early and often against Canelo Alvarez. He just was there stationary, not really moving very well. And anything that he even had that was an advantage for him, he didn't even work on that. So I just felt like he just catered to what Canelo was doing over the course of that fight.
Right. You know, right. And hold on for a second, boxing source. Hey, rap star, boxing knowledge, boxing knowledge, man. If you want to hop on, man, you're more than welcome. I would love to, to have, to hear what you have to say about, pretty much about the Canelo Saunders situation, that fight, and how you see it playing out. I love to hear, hear what you have to say, my brother. So if you want to, jump on, hop on the panel. You're more than welcome. I would love to have you. Shout out to the entire chat, man. Dylan Pulley, and Anita, much love and respect, my queen. You know what I mean? Toby Bartley, Tommy Bartlett, you know what I'm saying? Much love and respect. Justy, much love and respect. MMA bat surgeon. If MMA bat surgeon, if you want to hop on the panel, man, and join, you're more than welcome. I would love to have you, man. You know what I mean? I love to. To hear what you brothers have to say about this, these topics that I'm gonna be touching up on today. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are more than welcome to hop on and join me and my great brother right here, the Boxing Source. You know what I'm saying? Is a very knowledgeable brother. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to boxing, and he most definitely one of the generals in the YouTube boxing community. So, come join us, man. So we can, we can have, talk this boxing. You know what I mean? So much love and respect. But yeah, boxing, the boxing source. I feel, man, like Canelo I just feel like Canelo is very good. Like he's a very smart fighter, and Canelo is very good at making adjustments. You know what I mean? And the one thing I like when it comes to Canelo is like sometimes he will press the attack. He'll come forward, and at the end of the day, when he comes forward, he's smart with coming forward and being aggressive and good at working his way on the inside to dig down to the body, go back to the head, and he's good at sometimes slipping his head, moving his head. Now at times he is there to get hit, you know what I mean? But if you can't hurt Canelo, if he's taking your best shots, your best punches, then I feel like boom, right then there's right there you fell right into Canelo's trap. Like it's like really nothing you can really do, you know what I mean? So, like I like Canelo. Like he pretty much, he's this very skilled boxer puncher. But at the end of the day, like he's also I don't know if people know this, but he's also a technical brawler. You know what I mean? He can walk you down with the very fast combinations. You know what I'm saying? And very well at mixing up his punches. And if you can't keep up, he got you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, I think stylistically, a fight with him and Saunders I think that's a good fight because Billy Joe Saunders, man, honestly, is a very skilled fighter, man. He can box. He's good at boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I know people have said it before that Canelo struggles with guys that can actually, can box, work off the jab, set, counter from different angles and, pivot, move around the ring and, pretty much put on a good, put up a good performance as far as just doing pure boxing. You know what I mean? Instead of just, making in the war, staying right there in the pocket and fighting on the inside, which that's what Canelo loves, but Canelo also can box as well. But I just feel like, when you have guys that, on their toes, that's moving around the ring, that's very good at, work, sticking and moving and things of that nature, more of a slickster type of style of boxing. You know what I mean? Like he, in a way, struggled with those type of styles. We know, the Aris Lundy Laura, you know what I mean? Even though that was a very good fight between him and Canelo, and then you had of course you had Floyd Mayweather Jr. But of course Canelo is he's a lot better. He's gotten a lot better since those fights. So it's a lot of things that he do now, very well, versus when he was fighting those guys at that time. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, I just feel like that is a good fight, but I don't know why I feel like, it's a possibility that, Canelo can, I don't know, get like a late round TKO over Billy Joe Saunders. I could be wrong, but how you feel about that?
I mean, it's about, for me, it's about how Saunders approaches the fight. I mean, he's somebody that is a good boxer, but I don't know like how he is as far as like being on defense. So if he has himself like open to shots from Canelo Alvarez, I feel like Canelo Alvarez has the power to, really phase Billy Joe Saunders. So that's something that Saunders will have to watch out for.
Yeah.
And Billy Joe Saunders, even though he's, had like 30 wins up to this particular point, like only half of them have been, stoppage victories or something like that. So yeah, I have to see like how he would be able to set up shots against Canelo Alvarez, against somebody that I feel is probably better defensively than Billy Joe Saunders is. So that's the key for that, fight if it happens by May.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that 100%. IBT Mortal Boxing Truth, man. If you want to hop on, be in boxing news. If you want to hop on, man, if you guys want to hop on, I think the most people I can have on here is like 6 people until I get the other plan where I can have more than 8 people on the panel. I'm going to upgrade real soon. I'm just getting back on StreamYard, but you guys are more than welcome to give your take on what you feel about certain fights. Like we talked about the Canelo versus Saunders, and we're gonna get in the next fight. We're gonna get into hopefully we can get that fight real soon. Hopefully it'll be announced soon. It's the Joshua versus Fury, and we'll be talking about other topics as well, man. So if you guys wanna come on and give your take and talk this boxing with us, man, come join me in the Boxing Source, man. You guys are more than welcome. IBT. Immortal Boxing Truth, Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. I just sent the link, so you guys most definitely hit that link.
Okay, we got these inside.
Okay, Rap Star. All right, let me add him. What's going on, my brother? Let me unmute you.
Hey, what's happening, my mate? Hey,
what's going on, my brother?
From England, bro.
Man, shout out to England, man. Much love to the United Kingdom, man. You guys have been showing love, man, and so. Much love and respect to all of you guys, from the UK, man, especially that's been showing us love, man, and most definitely been supporting the channel. But yeah, I had to get you on, man, because, I know I've been seeing you around on other channels and other platforms, and you've been cooking, man, and you're very, very knowledgeable, just like my great brother right here, the Boxing Source. So, of course, I got to have brothers like you to come on and give, and share your knowledge and kind of break down fights and how you see fights going and how you see what the weakness, the strengths and weakness of a fighter, and how your prediction or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So opinion, you can have difference of opinion at times, but it's all nothing but love and respect, man. I love to hear what the next guy that has a lot of knowledge has to say when it comes to certain fights and when it comes to this boxing, man. So Rap Star, what you feel about Canelo versus Saunders, man? Like, how can you see that fight going?
I mean, we got to keep it real here, man. And before anything else, I just want to say thanks for having Rapstar on your platform. I want all my British subscribers, I got Italian subscribers, people just to follow each other, network with each other. You know what I mean? The other thing is I feel for you losing your channel because I got 2 channels and I lost a channel due to the copyright situation, man. So I feel for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the same thing to me. So my channel's going to be back open in 3 weeks. So I get where you're coming from, bro. But at least we learned our lesson, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm sorry that happened to you, my brother. And yeah, I most definitely learned my lesson, man. And during the process, man, I had time to evaluate and really focus and take care of family and do what I had to most definitely do to make sure that everything is in place, man. So it was just time that I took off, spending time with the family and taking care of family, handling business, working and things of that nature. But, I couldn't wait to get back, man. I couldn't wait to get back live again and, and touch up on a lot of different topics and, and get back live and have this boxing talk, man, when it comes to certain fights and come to certain situations in the boxing game, man, so I appreciate you guys being on the platform, man. It's an honor to have you guys, the Boxing Source, and you, including you, Rapstar, so it's an honor, man.
Hey, so let me just cook, right? This Billy Joe Saunders situation. I mean, let's be honest. Billy Joe Saunders is a lazy fighter. I'm from England, and I'm going to keep it real, man. Rapstar keeps it real, bro. I don't just fucking dick ride because I'm from England. Now, Billy Joe Saunders when he's focused and he's fucking in the training camp and he's like, religiously training, then he's got a little chance with Canelo. But what fucking chance can we give him? Canelo's got a granite chin. Canelo knows how to deal with long distance. Canelo knows how to fight in the inside. Canelo even is a fighter who's a great boxer. People fucking underrate his boxing skills. Now, how the fuck does Billy Joe Saunders beat Canelo Alvarez for 12 rounds? I can't see it. How does he outpoint Canelo in a 12-round fight? Because look, Billy Joe Saunders can't stop Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders hasn't got that kind of pop which can hurt Canelo. It's not going to happen. What Billy Joe Saunders has to do is use his legs and try and use his movement and try and keep it a little bit long so he can outpoint him and get back out. He's got to go back in and get back out. But the problem is, Canelo's IQ as a boxer is on a different level. The man is an experienced fighter. He knows how to fight all kinds of styles. You get what I'm saying? And what can Billy Joe Saunders do that other fighters haven't done? The only thing he can do is try and outpoint him. Can Billy Joe Saunders move around and hit him and keep it long and try and get back in and out and win those rounds? I don't think so, bro. I think this is the problem. None of these guys can beat Canelo in my eyes. Caleb Plant can't beat Canelo. I'm just keeping it real. Caleb Plant is the same kind of level as Callum Smith. Look, think about this. Callum Smith, Caleb Plant would be a close fight. You get what I mean? These kind of fighters, Canelo knows how to deal with these kind of fighters. And the only thing I see for Canelo, which is a problem, is BENAVIDEZ. If BENAVIDEZ is the real deal, and BENAVIDEZ seems like he's not just got distance, but he's got power. See, that's the difference. BENAVIDEZ got more pop than Callum Smith, right? And if BENAVIDEZ is a guy, look, the only man who beats Canelo is the man who hurts Canelo. Because there is no fucking Mayweather in the game. We haven't got a fighter like a Mayweather. The only man who beats Canelo is hurts Canelo. Is a man who can keep Canelo at bay. Yeah? So for me, Billy Joe Saunders can't beat Canelo, bro. And that's me keeping it real. Even though Billy Joe Saunders is a great amateur pedigree, but Canelo's a special, special fighter. What do you think about that?
Go ahead, Boxing Source. You wanna go ahead and rebuttal? I mean, or go after what Rapstar had to say. Put your
one thing that is kind of overlooked with Canelo Alvarez is that he's been in the professional game for 15 years. Like 15 years in the game. I mean, he's built up his record over in Mexico. While he was 15, and then came up from that, and then. Still had those fights against the Erislandy Laras, the Austin Trouts, the Miguel Cottos, the Gennady Golovkins, and all of that before even fighting Callum Smith. And that means he's like 15 years in the game, knowing everything that there is to know in the sport. And, going up against the likes of Billy Joe Saunders, which, like Rapstar said, doesn't have really the pop to have Canelo respect him, even at super middleweight. I mean, both of these guys are, coming up, having stints in the middleweight division to compete at super middleweight, and like there's nothing with Billy Joe Saunders that just says, hey, he has something that'll really have Canelo respect him. You know what I mean? Like you're going up against guys like Martin Murray, and you can't even take out a Martin Murray. You know what I mean? So how are you going to have much of a chance against Canelo Alvarez? You're not going to outbox him. And you're not going to, try to do like I said, a 1-2 and then move away from the line of vision from Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez knows how to cut off the ring. And if you even try to, do something like that, he'll make you pay, because once you throw that lead hand, he's going to, counter off of that lead hand. So there's really not much off of, what Billy Joe Saunders would be able to do in order for Canelo Alvarez to have any danger of losing that fight. And Caleb Plant showed me yesterday that he's, kind of like going through the motions a lot. And while some people may say, oh, he might step up to the competition, I really don't see anything from him and from his technique that makes him have much of a shot against the Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I feel like, and he always have room to add to his game. He always have room to evolve and work on some things and get a little better, because he's 28 years old. When it comes to Caleb Plant, and yes, I think the like you guys were saying, I think the experience of Canelo, I just think the different styles Canelo have saw, and all the experience, and he have evolved into a very skilled elite fighter. And like I just don't think like fighters like Caleb Plant is like ready, to really go up against a Canelo Alvarez. I don't mind seeing the fight, but no, he just doesn't have enough right now to beat a fighter like that's on the level of Canelo Alvarez. He doesn't have what it takes right now. I think what Rapstar was saying, I think the BENAVIDEZ would be one of those fighters, I believe, stylistically, that will make a very entertaining fight with Canelo. And I think, he is a fighter that I believe that can hurt Canelo. But can he beat Canelo? I think Canelo also beat him, based on all the things that Canelo do well. You know what I mean? And like I say, being that very skilled elite fighter, just on another level. I just feel like, Canelo would eventually, beat a fighter like David Benavidez and eventually break him down, make the necessary adjustments. I don't see him stopping the kid, but I just see him beating the kid. You know what I'm saying? Just giving him a boxing lesson.
Yeah, but we also got to remember that Billy Joe Saunders, he's a tricky fighter. He might win some rounds in there, Tucker. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Billy Joe Saunders might win 3 rounds in there, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking, man. I was thinking that myself, man. I was like, it's possible that, because he's a slickster, and he's very good at working off his jab and sticking and moving. He's got very good lateral move. He's a very good lateral mover, and he can pivot and do a lot of different things. He's a skilled fighter, so he can do a lot of things that can somewhat, in a way, throw Canelo off. But like you guys were saying, Canelo is very good at cutting off that range, coming forward, and very good at slipping, and very good at slipping, and good head movement, digging down to the body, moving his head, digging down to the body, going back to the head. He's very good at mixing up his punches. He's a very smart boxer puncher. You know what I'm saying? And he's also a good counter puncher as well. So Canelo it's a lot of things Canelo is very good at doing that people don't really give him credit for. Like, it's a lot of us, that really pay attention, that do film study, that study these fighters, that watch these fighters, that have followed these fighters' careers, that we know what these fighters are capable of. You know what I'm saying? By looking how they train and things of that nature. So we know what these fighters can do. You know what I mean? We know, the fundamentals that these guys possesses. And, so at the end of the day, people can be on the outside looking in, but we know, we observe, we pay attention. You know what I'm saying? We follow this sport and we follow these fighters. You know what I mean? So we know what they can do, and we know what they need to work on. We know their strengths and we know their weaknesses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, if we had to put any money on it, right? Let's be honest. If Canelo had to become undisputed at 168, I think the path is written for him. I mean, let's be honest. You got Billy Joe Saunders, and then you got Caleb Plant, and then Canelo's undisputed. I mean, I don't think no one's going to stop him becoming undisputed, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
I know Caleb Plant is going to try and duck that fight for a little while, but eventually he's going to have to fucking fight Canelo.
But Rapstar, people got to understand, bro, that Callum Smith is a very good fighter, bro.
He's an amazing fighter.
And I was amazed what Canelo did up against Callum Smith. Callum Smith had some success in that fight. That's not take away, that he had a little success in that fight. He came to fight. He did a little bit. He did a little bit to keep him in the fight, and he actually didn't do too bad. It was just that Canelo was just a skilled, very tough fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he's the top guy at 168.
Let me just stop you, Tucker. A lot of people in England, a lot of people in Europe, they know that Billy Joe Saunders is a much more better, little bit of a better fighter than Callum Smith. Billy Joe Saunders has a much more heavy pedigree. He was an Olympian. And let me just go to your chat. Loz D Punch Out says, when Billy Joe Saunders beat David Lemieux, he was in his prime. Like, he was very active. Did you see how Billy Joe Saunders put a masterclass on against David Lemieux?
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that, right?
At 160, Billy Joe Saunders is one of the best 160-pound fighters, in the world. And I'm a big fan of Billy Joe Saunders. Honestly, I saw that fight. That was a master class. That was master class performance by Billy Joe Saunders, and he went up against a very strong, hard-hitting David Lemieux. You know what I mean? The guy was a big, strong middleweight with punching power, and the way that Billy Joe Saunders handled him, I was like blown away. I was like, this guy is a problem. Like, for any other 160 pounder, this guy is a problem. And
let me just tell everybody this as well. Do you know that Billy Joe Saunders also has got a strong chin? Let me tell you why. Do you know Chris Eubank Jr. can pop? Chris Eubank Jr. hit Billy Joe Saunders with everything in the last 6 rounds of that fight, and he couldn't stop Billy Joe. Billy Joe Saunders also has got an okay chin. I think, let's be honest, if Billy Joe Saunders turns up the one with David Lemieux, he might win fucking some rounds of Canelo, bro. It might become close. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. We will have to really see. And I just think, like, honestly, and this is just me being real with you guys. Like, I feel like if Daniel Jacobs was able to get in there and compete with Canelo Alvarez and make it a good fight, if Triple G was able to get in there with Canelo Alvarez and make it a good fight, first fight and second fight, if you have fighters like Sergey Derevyanchenko was able to get in there with, not Derevyanchenko, I'm sorry, but if you have fighters, like those two guys, and then, so I'm pretty sure that Billy Joe Saunders, would most definitely, it could be one of those fights where it can end up being close, because Billy Joe Saunders is up there amongst with the top 160 at that time, with the top 160-pound fighters. We're talking about Demetrius Andrade, all those guys. Like, I just feel like he is one of those fighters, on a level that he can compete and give a lot of those fighters a hard time. And I can see all those fights out of the top middleweights, those fights being close. And I can agree 100% with you. Like, that fight can end up being close. You know what I mean? My only thing is that Billy Joe Saunders would not have, because he fades. He likes to fade, like going into like he fades a little bit going into like the middle to like getting close to like going into the late rounds. I ain't gonna lie, he fades a little. He fades, and he can't fade against a big puncher and a very hard hitting fighter like Canelo Alvarez. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's 100% fact. Billy Joe Saunders has showed everybody that he's got a little tiny stamina issue in the late rounds. And we got to keep it real. You got to be in your A game to fight Canelo. Because if you're losing gas in the later rounds, Canelo will stop you. Canelo will fucking stop you. And one thing we got to recognize about Canelo Alvarez downloads data in the first few rounds. As he's a mature fighter, he likes to get comfortable in the ring. And once he's comfortable, he puts that pressure on you. You get what I mean? So
yeah.
You get what I'm saying, right, Tucker? Once Canelo Alvarez is comfortable, that's it. He's going to be on his game plan, and you ain't going to get him out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Go ahead, Boxing Source. Go ahead. What you was about to say, my brother?
No, I was like going through what was said in the comments, and people were bringing up BENAVIDEZ. The thing with BENAVIDEZ is he's blown like big chances here over the past couple of years. And the thing where he was going up against Romer Alexis Angulo, and he loses the belt due to not making weight, that was just inexcusable to me, because you knew that he had the opportunity to either fight Caleb Plant in the unification, or, maybe fight Canelo Alvarez in unification later on down the line. And all he had to do was just stay in weight and perform like he usually performs against somebody in Angulo that really wasn't going to be at his level. I mean, like a lot of people really are high on David Benavidez at 168 pounds, but he isn't even high on himself at 168 pounds. And you can't have two separate occasions where you get stripped of the WBC super middleweight title, and you're at a young age. You're like what, around 20 some years old, like 23 or something. Right. Like that can't happen. You know, like if they're against the likes of a Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders and all of that. All of those guys are above 25. You're not even 25 yet, and you're having these issues.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think he's is he 23? Is he 20, David Benavidez?
Yeah, 24.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm late. I'm so late. I'm thinking the kid's still probably like, I thought the kid was still like 22 or something. Yeah. But you know, them years pass. Them years go by so fast, man. Like time is flying, bro. You know, but yeah.
So can I touch on something, Tucker?
Oh yeah, sure, man. Sure, Rockstar. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and cook, bro.
So I want everybody in the chat in America to tell me, what do we think about this guy called Edgar Berlanga? Now, Edgar Berlanga is looking for a fight he's looking for a fight now with Rosado, the guy who just gave Daniel Jacobs a great fight. Gabriel Rosado, right? So if Edgar Berlanga knocks out Rosado, and then he's the guy in the top 10, he's the next threat in that fucking division. So if Edgar Berlanga carries on beating people, can you imagine Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo in 2022?
I don't see something of that magnitude happening by 2022. You're talking about someone in Berlanga, even though he's, had like a lot of, momentum going after his few fights last year. All of those fights have been first round knockouts. I mean, they tried to see if they could match him up with somebody that could at least get him to, rounds 2 or round 3. But that didn't happen. So right now they've already placed him within like the top 6 or 7 in the WBO rankings at super middleweight. And yeah, there was something about even David Benavidez suggesting that he may want to set up a fight with Edgar Berlanga, like, this year. And I'm like, Berlanga hasn't really had those type of fights yet. So I don't see Berlanga having anything to where he gets close to a world title shot until like 2022. Like he's not even facing the likes of a Steven Nelson, who has like a version of a WBO title right now. But Steven Nelson is much more experienced than, Edgar Berlanga is. And they're both under top rank. And they haven't set up a fight yet, So with Berlanga, we gotta like wait and see how they're going to match him up. Even though someone like a like a Gabe Rosado would be probably good for him, but I don't think like a Gabe they will want to put him in against Gabe quite yet. I have to see like if Andre Rozier or the matchmakers over in Top Rank would put him up against the Gabe Rosado at this particular point.
Okay, hold on for a second. The Boxing Source. Shout out to my brother, Boxing Logics United. That's my brother right there, MBBC. Man, appreciate the super chat, man. Much love and respect. Peace and pugilism, family. Much love, peace and pugilism to you, my brother. If you want to hop on Boxing Logics United, if you want to hop on with my great brother, the Boxing Source, and my great brother, the Rap Star, please join us, man. Come on, jump on the panel and let's cook with us, man. Cook with us. So I'm more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Tony Reviews. Much love and respect to you, my brother. If you want to join, get on the panel. I think I can have like 6 people. So if you want to join me and my 2 great brothers that's on the panel right now, jump on Tony Reviews so we can cook, man, along with you, Boxing Logics United. And shout out to the chat. I'm sorry if I've been missing comments. I'm just basically tuned in, man, because my brothers are cooking right now. The Boxing Source, very knowledgeable. Rap Star, very knowledgeable. My brothers are cooking right now. We cooking right now. So forgive me if I'm missing comments and things of that nature. You know what I mean? But Boxing Logics United, hop on, man. If you want to hop on, Tony Reviews, you can hop on as well, man. Lars D Punch Out TV, much love and respect, bro. Yeah, it's cool, man. If you're just relaxing and chilling and just enjoying the show, that's cool, man. Next time, bro. You know, more lives coming soon. So, okay, go ahead, Boxing Source. Go ahead, continue to cook, man.
Yeah, I think, we were just continuing on this whole thing with the 168-pound division. I mean, you got, those guys that I mentioned with the Edgar Berlangas and the Gabe Rosados and the Steven Nelsons that are, trying to contend up there, while you had the champs in Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. And like I said, with David Benavidez, he's going to have to straighten up because he's losing out on big opportunities. He could have had a unification fight, like I said, against Caleb Plant, which would have been talked about since like 2019. And right now he might be out of the picture for probably, up to a year. So I like to see like what happens next with him, because if he, doesn't get himself, in shape and focused, then he's going to lose out big time and then try to, clean it up by moving up to 175, where he's not going to really have any chances to do anything at 175 with the guys up there, because the B-Vols and the better BFs that are out there, and Joe Smith Jr., who might be the WBO light heavyweight champion if he wins this fight. Benavidez won't be able to get in on the action for those belts at 175, so you're going to have to stick at 168 for a little bit more.
But we also can't forget Jamal Charlo. I know Jamal Charlo's at 160, but Jamal Charlo is saying that he wants to move up to 168 soon. So we can't, you know what I mean? We got to remember Jamal Charlo is a threat for some people out there, right?
Yeah.
And Jamal Charlo showed everybody against Derevchenko he can fight in the inside, and he's got some heart. So I think Jamal Charlo versus Benavidez would be a good fight at 168.
Yeah, I was thinking that could have happened with Jamal Charlo, with him holding the WBC title at middleweight. If he moves up to 168, then I thought that he would have ended up fighting Benavidez for that particular title. But Benavidez, like I said, screwed up again. And someone with Charlo has kind of like been chasing Canelo Alvarez, since moving up to 160, because he went ahead. He was a IBF champ at 154. Then when he moved up to 160, he had to fight against the number one ranked guy in the WBC at 160, so he could get a fight against Canelo Alvarez. And that's when you had the whole franchise champion thing going on. So Charlo is trying to get that type of fight that says, okay, I've arrived. I'm one of the big stars here in the sport of boxing, whether it's 160 or 168. And so he's going to be looking for that particular fight too. And if he moves up to 168, which he could do, he could throw a little wrench in those plans there in the super middleweight division.
Yeah, but I think Jamal Charlo is also a threat for some of those guys. And we got to recognize this. Jamal Charlo will carry power at 168. Right.
Yeah.
He's already outgrown 160 already. You look at the guy, right? He's a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
I think Jamal Charlo's best days are coming at 168, bro. They're going to be amazing fights. When Jamal Charlo moves to 168, his brother should move to 160, I think. And they should let Errol Spence come up to 154 eventually. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, with Jamal Charlo, he's going to wait out for the WBO title thing to be straightened out, because you have Teixeira versus Brian Carlos Castaño for that belt. And if Castaño wins that belt, that makes it easier for them to make a undisputed title fight at 154, since Castaño and Jamal Charlo are, under Heyman Boxing. But I think he's going to wait and to see if he could be undisputed champ at 154. Then he'll move up to, 160, and then you'll have Jamal Charlo moving up to 168. So I think that's the situation that's going to go on right there.
I think, honestly, Jamal Charlo can make 168 no problem. I mean, the guy walk around weight, and I know these guys stay training, they stay in the gym, when they're not training. But, I know that his walk around weight can be somewhat of like 180, 190, maybe close to 200 pounds. So I know sooner or later 168, he'll make 168 with the ease, bro. Like it wouldn't be no problem 168, and that would be honestly, where he's. Now I believe that's his next step is 168, honestly. And then I wouldn't be surprised sooner or later, even going up to 175, because I believe he has the size, he has the height, to be at like heavyweight in the future. He's in his prime. So, I still feel that, it's certain fights. But honestly, I think, Jamal Charlo showed me when he went up against Sergey Derevyanchenko, he showed me that, he's just gotten better, a lot better. He has made some adjustments. He's now on another level, and I feel like he, will have the edge in the way going up against a fighter like David Benavidez. But I think stylistically, when you bring both styles together, I think in a way it'll be a war. But I don't know why I feel like Jamal Charlo is more of, he's a big puncher, he's a boxer puncher, but he's more of a fighter that's more of the slightly the better boxer. Can you guys agree with that? Like slightly the better boxer. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to, I think he's slightly a little bit more skilled than a David Benavidez. Like, how you guys feel about that? What you guys think?
No, I'm going to disagree there.
Okay.
It's very hard to say Jamal Charlo is more skilled as a boxer than the David Benavidez, because Jamal Charlo's, most of his strengths are in the inside. Yeah, he likes a jab, but, he gets hit a lot. You got to remember that Jamal Charlo gets hit as well. It's not like he's a clean fighter. Yeah. He's always losing. He sometimes looks like he's losing some of them rounds against Derevyanchenko. You saw that.
Yeah, most definitely. He was most definitely losing rounds. Yes, he was losing rounds. Derevyanchenko is a monster, bro, and he's a beast. And that was like the toughest fight he ever been in, and that was like a step up fight for Jamal Charlo. Sergey Derevyanchenko was going to either make or break Jamal Charlo. Of course, a fighter can always bounce back from a loss, and it's going to only make you better. If it doesn't break you, it only makes you stronger, and it only makes you want to come back, and it makes you only want to have even a lot more hunger to go in there and do it again and be great and to redeem yourself. And in a comeback fight. But I feel like Sergey Derevyanchenko was the big test. I think that was the test, a step up fight to see where he's at. To see where Jamal Charlo was at, to see what level he's on, and he passed that test, but it was not easy. Like you say, Rapstar, it was not easy. Sergey Derevyanchenko made that young man dig down deep, and he forced that young man to fight.
Yeah, but you got to remember this. There was a point in that fight in the ring where Jamal Charlo was stuck in the different places where Derevyanchenko wanted him there.
Yeah,
Jamal Charlo, you got to agree, Jamal Charlo wasn't moving his legs correctly. He was making that fight difficult for himself. And I just want to get back to you, Tucker, and IBT. David Benavidez uses his range, his height, and he can use all that against his advantage. We got to remember that David Benavidez is also a great little boxer from a young kid. You guys are fucking forgetting David Benavidez is he's got some great skills in there, bro. Yeah, David Benavidez uses his power, but he uses his boxing skill, and he makes sure he uses his range. David Benavidez is good at using his range. So it's very hard to say, because Jamal Charlo showed me that when Derevyanchenko had him in the corner, he couldn't get out of it. He had to fight his fight. You see what I'm trying to say? Jamal Charlo, go ahead.
So answer this. So who has like basically, who is better at moving their head? Who has the better jab? Who is better at, when it comes to better, who has the better, like you say, I hear what you're saying, but like who is like the technical fighter? Who is it? Are they both technical fighters, or you could say that Jamal Charlo is more of the better technical fighter of the two?
No, it's very hard. No. Remember that fight with Jamal Charlo against Kobarev? Is that his name? Kobarev, the one which Chris Eubank beat in the first round. Do you remember that?
Korobov.
Listen, look at that fight again, bro. Jamal Charlo, when he gets into a position where another guy's outboxing him a little bit, he gets stuck. Do you get what I mean? Jamal Charlo, he can easily be outboxed if he's not in his game. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Jamal Charlo has a lot of power and he has a granite chin. And that's what keeps him going. Because of his heart, his granite chin. It's not his boxing skills as much as his heart, his granite chin, and his power and his continuous aggression. You got to keep this real, bro. He ain't the greatest boxer. He just ain't. Jamal Charlo is a better boxer than Jamal Charlo. That's my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, 100%. I feel like, you know, Jamal Charlo is the better boxer, and he proved that, you know, going up against certain fighters like, he showed me that, you know, going up against, I believe that was him that went up against Austin Trout, right? That was Jamal Charlo that went up against Austin Trout. If Koblarov
can keep Jamal Charlo on range, just like what IBT said, imagine what BENAVIDEZ can do if he uses his range correctly. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. I see what you're saying now. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like, and yeah, a lot of people don't know, and I pay attention to this. You know, a lot of people don't know that David Benavidez has a good jab. You know, he's also a very good counterpuncher. He has very good timing. He's not just this walk you down type of fighter, front foot dominant, walk you down and come forward and just beat you up, go body head, and very good at mixing his punches. Now the thing is that he can do a little better at moving his head because he don't want to get hit with too many big shots coming from Jamal Charlo. And I believe that Jamal Charlo will still have the power going up to 168. That's just what I believe. Even though we got to see how he goes up against certain fighters that may have hard heads and strong chins, but still, I feel like yes, people don't know that David Benavidez can actually box. He can actually bounce on his feet. He can actually get in and get out. He can actually move, and he showed a little bit. He showed a little bit of that against Anthony Durrell.
So can I speak to your chat if you don't mind? There's a guy called Campus Vasquez. He's your subscriber. Campus Vasquez, he says this is why he favors Andrade against Jamal Charlo. Because if you think about it, Andrade, he's as a southpaw, he's better than Koblarov, whatever that guy's name is. I mean, Andrade probably gives Jamal Charlo everything he's ever asked for. I think Andrade probably can fucking beat Jamal Charlo, bro.
I think I honestly, I think I can see the fight being close, but like Andre he's very awkward, but he's also a slick fighter. He has you know what I mean? Rap star. He's like that slick. He's a slickster. He has that slick style and then his footwork is great. His head movement is great. He's good at slipping punches very well. You know what I mean? And he's good at working off his jab, and he's good at he's good at pivoting, and he got the lateral move. He's a good lateral mover, moving side to side. He's kind of good at frustrating every opponent that he's faced. But a certain style, yeah, you see what I'm saying? But a certain style like Jamal Charlo, I think it'll be a good fight. Honestly, I think it'll be a kind of fight that he really need in his career, but I can honestly, in a way, see him beating Jamal Charlo on points. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Jamal Charlo will have to be the aggressor in that fight. Jamal Charlo against Andrade, he would have to be continuously going forward and getting Andrade out of a game plan. You got to continuously put pressure on Andrade. You see what I'm saying? Get rough, right. Get in the inside. Don't let Andrade use his distance. Do not let Andrade use his boxing skills. Just go in there, rough and tough him up. You get what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you got to get Andrade out of that comfortability. But look, before we keep cooking, man, look, Tucker's back in the game. Smash that like button, subscribe to his channel, and also don't forget to press that notification, bro. We're cooking right here.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Hit that like button. Appreciate that, Rap Star. You guys make sure you hit that like button, man. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Myron in the queue, man. He jumping in. He trying to jump in this joint.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you told me. Let me get my brother on here, man.
God damn. Damn.
Man, the great Myron,
about 10 minutes, man.
the great Myron Magnus, bro. Let me tell you,
I ain't that great. I ain't that great.
Calm down. I promise you, I was not paying attention to the stream yard, man. I'm not used to the stream yard. I'm trying to get back used to it, bro. I'm up here looking at the live on my channel and not paying attention to the stream yard. I was like, man,
hey, bro. I want to cook on Charlo and BENAVIDEZ, and this is a good topic. I personally, my personal opinion, Sergey Derevchenko is a better boxer than BENAVIDEZ and Charlo. Okay? So I do not believe BENAVIDEZ, my personal opinion, a fight between BENAVIDEZ and Charlo is not a fight of who's the best boxer. Because BENAVIDEZ don't show the best feet to me, personally. And I think, honestly, Jermall Charlo has more weapons than BENAVIDEZ. I favor Jermall Charlo in that because I think that's going to be a puncher's battle. Somebody in that fight is going to get knocked out, 100%. So, I don't see.
Yeah, but who have you seen Jermall Charlo knock out?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I don't see BENAVIDEZ be able to do to Charlo what Korobov was. And I thought Korobov beat Charlo, personally. I thought Korobov beat Charlo on points. And I've said that many times. I mean, I reiterated that every time since that fight. But Charlo is growing. Charlo is getting better. And that's the dangerous thing. And his fight versus Derevchenko, although, yes, he lost rounds, he won that fight clearly. And I put Charlo as someone like an Anthony Joshua. The longer these Bammers wait on facing him, it's more detrimental to their ability in beating him. That's the thing. And I agree with Rapstar thinking Jamel is a better boxer than Jermall. But don't wait too long before you fight Jermall. Because one thing I do agree with is Rapstar said, Jermall is a strong-ass puncher and he has a steel chin. Both of them. I don't think BENAVIDEZ has what it takes, the skills to pay the bills, because he has less skills than Korobov and boxing skills. BENAVIDEZ, I say here, has less boxing skills than Korobov and Sergey Derevchenko, in my opinion. And I don't think he can repeat what those two fighters did. I don't think he'll come with the same game plan. And he's going to try to come in there because he stands straight up, first of all, BENAVIDEZ, and he is flat-footed as well. He going to go in there and Charlo going to knock that motherfucker out if he go in there sleeping on him. That's just my plain opinion on that shit. He going to knock BENAVIDEZ slam the fuck out. You know what I mean? Real talk. Not maybe no one punch, but he going to get in that ass because that's a strong-ass Texas boy. You know what I mean? And that's what I have to say on that subject, and I think I covered all the bases for the most part.
And I said the same thing. I said I felt like Jermall Charlo, you know, because I believe he'll make, you know, when the time comes, he'll make 168 no problem. Because like what I was talking about when I was telling Rapstar, you know what I'm saying, and the boxing source, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, basically he walk around weight already is like, you know, 180 to 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like he'll still be strong and he'll still have the power at 168, but it's still going to be tough because BENAVIDEZ also has power and also a big puncher and also a skilled, dangerous fighter as well. You know what I mean? So like that's a tough fight, honestly.
Can I just say something before IBT goes, Tucker? So I haven't seen anything from Jermall Charlo at 160 to 154 to show me that he's got the power to knock people out like that. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing that Jermall Charlo has showed me at 160 to tell me that he can knock BENAVIDEZ out. He's not shown that to us at 154 or 160. What's anyone got to say about that?
What, you have to wait till the opportunity comes.
Yeah, but
he sparked out Julian J. Rock Williams at 154.
With a one punch, an uppercut.
Yeah, but I think you got to remember this. BENAVIDEZ is a fully grown 168, and he's already big at that weight. It's hard to say that Jermall Charlo goes in there and knocks him out. that can't be the game plan. If he's going in that game plan, I think he loses that fight.
I'm not saying he's going to come with that game plan. I'm saying, though, that the way those two fighters fight, that's going to become a battle of punching. That's going to be a puncher's battle. Neither one of those motherfuckers are come in to try to outbox you. They come in to try to bang and get you out of there. When have you ever seen Benavidez come in and try to outbox somebody? When have you seen Chamalo try to outbox somebody? Only time he was able to do that was against a better boxer, Sergey Derevchenko. And he wasn't able to do it against Korobov. So he improved from Korobov to Sergey Derevchenko. So whenever he fight Benavidez, he got a great trainer. You're going to see improvement. So I'm just saying that I think that's going to become a puncher's battle. That's going to be a punch fest. I don't think neither one of them coming in to outbox. But I think as of more punches in their repertoire, Charlo has, in my opinion. And so I think Charlo's going to get him. And it might be a late knockout, but a TKO or something, all that is under the same shit. It's going to be a stoppage. I see that. And when those two fight. Because just on the styles, I see somebody getting stopped in that fight.
Yeah, but who's Jamal Charlo fought that gives you an idea that can do that to Benavidez?
He just told you. He just told you.
I think Benavidez is a great fighter on the inside as well. I think people seem to forget Benavidez is actually a fighter on the inside more than the outside. I think one thing I agree with you, that will be a style of clashes. That will be a great fucking fight because remember this, styles make fights. And that's an amazing style for both of them.
Yeah, they both come forward. And then Charlo was able to fight on the inside versus Benavidez better than we all thought he was. I mean, versus Sergey Derevchenko than we all thought he was able to be. And Sergey Derevchenko is an inside fighter. That's what he tries to do because of his short arm span.
Oh, no, not me. I already knew that. I already knew Jamal Charlo was good at fighting on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he's one of the fighters that I can say that's very smart at fighting on the inside.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, Sergey Derevchenko, that's his game is on the inside. And he was able to match Sergey Derevchenko with that. Because Sergey Derevchenko got the shortest arm span of all of them at 160. And that's all what he has to do. That's what he had to do versus Golovkin. That's what he had to do versus Charlo. And Charlo was able to match him there. And I was like, whoa.
Can we just agree? Jamal Charlo hasn't fought anyone that tall and that height and that range yet, has he?
Yeah, no, he's not.
He hasn't.
Right, so can I just finish? David Benavidez.
Hey, Rap Star, hold on for a second. Before you continue, man, I want to welcome another one of my great brothers to the panel, man. Very knowledgeable brother, man. This guy is very knowledgeable, great guy. I love him. IBT Boxing Truth. It's been a minute, my brother. Welcome to the panel, man.
Welcome, IBT. And hold up on Rap Star before you say he hasn't fought nobody that length. Now, if somebody got the available to him right now, tell us the dimensions between Korobov and Benavidez, or is it really no? Because Korobov was tall and lanky.
Yeah, but he's not as tall. He's not as tall as Benavidez.
I'm just saying, give us the right. I'm just saying.
I want to say 5'11" versus like 6'2", maybe.
Facts.
So Benavidez is what, 6'2"?
6'1".
6'1.5", yeah, according to BoxRec.
Okay, and how tall is and then how tall is whatchamacallit?
Korobov 5'11". I said 5'11".
Charlo, 6
Oh,
foot.
Charlo.
Charlo 6 feet. 6 feet. Yeah.
6 foot. Sounds right to me. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the arm reach between Benavidez and Charlo?
I think Benavidez it's like you said the arm reach.
Somebody look him up. Yeah, somebody
I've got it. So Charlo's got a 73.5 inch reach, and then Benavidez has a 77-inch reach.
Yeah, and that's a huge difference, bro. That's a huge difference. Hey, IBT, keep cooking. I'll be back.
That's definitely.
Yeah, so to me, I agree with the concept that fight is stylistically, it's just fireworks, right? I don't think these two, I don't think we're gonna see Jamal Charlo be able to box on the back foot and beat Benavidez like that. And I don't think we'll be able to see Benavidez do the same thing either, right? I see a lot of people saying Jermall Charlo's an inside fighter. I wouldn't say that's predominantly where he likes to fight. He likes to fight mostly at the mid-range boxer puncher type of thing. We saw that versus Derevianchenko. He wasn't keeping him on the outside with the jab, but he was keeping him at a nice solid distance where he was still able to get enough power and leverage for that right hand and for his hooks and his uppercuts whenever Derevianchenko collapsed the pocket, right? Whenever Derevianchenko got in, pushed up against his chest, we saw Charlo be able to use his shoulder to push him off and hit him with the right uppercut. And I think Benavidez Benavidez,
because when you get a different fighter, you got a different game plan as well. Yeah. So, I mean, Benavidez is not Sergey Derevyanchenko. Sergey Derevyanchenko is not Benavidez. So he ain't going to come with the same game plan versus Benavidez as he would against Derevyanchenko.
I agree. David Benavidez and Sergey Derevianchenko are both inside fighters, pressure fighters, right? But I would say Derevianchenko's offense and Benavidez's offense aren't the same. Like Derevianchenko is going to be pushing up with his knees bent below you, kind of like coming from the bottom with his knees crouched, working the body, trying to throw overhand rights. Whereas Benavidez is going to be walking you down upright, and he's going to be working combinations upright, right? Derevianchenko is more bent forward. Benavidez is going to utilize his size and reach a little more to come forward. Though.
That's what could get Benavidez knocked out because he's up too tall. That's why I mentioned that earlier. He'll come right up tall, and he's flat-footed. And he comes with the same boxing stance. I see a lot of weaknesses in Benavidez, to be honest.
So hold on, Myron. So you saying that that's interesting? How him coming forward, putting the pressure on Charlo, coming forward, trying to walk him down, mixing up his punches, trying to dig to the body, go to the head, because we know he's very well at mixing up his punches. He got mean combinations, and he's very fast with throwing those combinations, whether going to the body, going to the head, and he's good at coming forward and walking you down. Do you think that's going to be a trap? That's going to be the big mistake for Benavidez coming forward, because we know that coming forward against Charlo could be somewhat what Charlo wants.
I think Charlo going to work. I think what Charlo showed when his knockout of J-Rock was that Charlo can work better off of angles. Charlo can come at you better at angles than Benavidez. And so I don't think he'll go straight up. I think he'll work angles and give them. And I just see a lot of weaknesses in Benavidez. And that's just me. And so I think Charlo will come at him from angles. I mean, not direct forward, but he got better. Charlo has better feet than Benavidez.
I would say marginally. No, I wouldn't say. So to me, like I don't really.
You say marginally, I say by far.
It's opinion.
Again, he got better angles. He got better feet. He's gonna. Your boy got a better reach of him by we say 4 inches. So that'd be the most likely way he'll come. And so I just think I just got Charlo in that. You know what I mean?
So IBT, I want to ask you, my brother, do you think that do you feel that that Jermall Charlo is better at more of the technical, he's a boxer puncher, but he's more also a technical fighter. Do you think that could slightly give him the advantage of a Benavidez, having working off the jab better and being slightly of the boxer, you know what I'm saying, than more of a technical brawler? Because I can see like Benavidez is a boxer puncher, but he's also a technical brawler in a way.
Yeah.
But so do you kind of see like Jermall Charlo just being somewhat the better boxer in a way? Do you think that would slightly give him the edge over David Benavidez?
So in terms of talking about the edge, right? We haven't seen Charlo at 168. So if he were to translate perfectly, then I could understand why you'd give him a slight edge. But I also think that when considering he may be a better technical boxer puncher, I think the pressure, it depends how he's able to apply the pressure, right? If Benavidez is able to get on the inside and is able to work his combinations to the body, upstairs, push Charlo forward, whoever's physically stronger, I think will have a tremendous advantage, because even though I think Charlo's jab or 1-2 might be better, Benavidez is the one with the longer reach by a significant amount. So maybe if he can physically push Charlo backwards, Charlo works best when he is the one standing in the middle of the ring dictating the ring generalship. And if Benavidez is able to push him backwards, I don't know if he'll have as much punching power. Right now, if he punches Benavidez and Benavidez goes, whoa, I don't like that very much, I'm going to be a little more hesitant. I think that type of hesitance is what Charlo would prefer, because then the fight would be to his pace, to his tempo, at his range. You know what I mean? So it really depends on it depends on David Benavidez. That's actually the person who's going to be setting the pace of the fight, or the one who's going to be letting Charlo set the pace or making the pace. Because if he pushes him forward, if he starts working his own jab, because he's got a good jab. It's not maybe as crisp as Charlo's. Like Charlo's very stiff jab from point A to point B, right? But Benavidez does have a fast jab, and if he's able to work that, maybe jab to his chest and come forward, work him against the ropes, work his body, then it's a different story. I do genuinely think that the power and strength, that's going to be pivotal in this fight, especially if Charlo's power or strength aren't as good as Benavidez. He's the bigger guy at the weight class.
Also, I want to touch on that, on what IBT said. Charlo, he might have a great jab against people which are close to his distance and his height. But trying to have a great jab with a man who's 5 inches ahead of you or 4 inches ahead of you ain't going to be that easy for you. Just like Mikey Garcia had a great jab at 140. As soon as he went at 147, he couldn't dictate the pace. You see, you got to remember this shit. When you go up to 168, can Jermall Charlo dictate the pace against a fast fucking Benavidez? Because Benavidez, just like the chat said, he also has hand speed, Tucker. You can't deny that. You're coming against a man who's way taller than you and got a better range than you. How do you dictate the pace with that jab, even though it's your key punch?
Exactly.
Explain
yeah.
that.
Right.
There's too many examples in history where that really doesn't matter. When Mikey Garcia stepped up to 147, he was a fat slug. He had no feet. He wasn't able to carry the weight of jumping
He
from
beat Jesse Vargas. Go on, carry.
But that's a bum, Jesse Vargas. Okay,
Vargas
who's
is
not
a bum. He's not a bum.
Jesse Vargas had no punching power. Jesse Vargas ain't no. Let me finish what I'm saying. I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you guys. I didn't interrupt you guys. Hold up, I didn't interrupt y'all.
All right, hold on, rap star, and then after rap star, IBT, go ahead and let Myron cook, and then let him go ahead.
Jesse Vargas got what, 6-7 losses or whatever. Come on, Jesse Vargas wasn't able to get freaking.
Jesse Vargas
is he's a gatekeeper right now. I didn't interrupt you, Rap. I did not interrupt you, Rap.
Rap star, hold on, real quick. Let Myron go ahead and cook real quick, and then you.
I didn't interrupt none of y'all. Mikey Garcia stepped up, and he knew. His brother told him why it's a big jump in weight. Yeah, you did 140 versus old boy
Sergey Lipinets.
Adrian Broner versus Adrian Broner, but okay, that was Adrian Broner who hadn't come prepared for a fight forever. Then one fight at 140, he jumped up to 147, his body couldn't handle it. He didn't give his time himself to grow into that. You feel me? So he was in there as a slug. He was moving up. You know what I mean? But Charlo was naturally freaking big. You know what I mean? And we've seen too many times in history where 3-4 inch, against, of course, superior fighters, where you got a boxing length range with 3 or 4 inches can be easily overcome with good timing. And I do believe Charlo has good timing. Now, Benavidez has good timing, but tell me somebody really of good note, really of good note that Benavidez has beaten also that was as good as we know Charlo can be. Now, I don't think you can really name somebody that. So that's why I think Charlo, I would call the fight a 50-50. You know what I mean? Between Benavidez and Charlo. And I'm leaning, 55-45 for Charlo. I think he got him even with the move up because I think he may be stronger at 168 because he's a big boy naturally and he may suck down to get to 160. So at 168, he could be stronger. And we don't know that. You feel me? And same as far as Jermell. So all that shit will come in time. But I don't think a 4-inch is a big reach advantage. It's 4. I mean, it's a significant, but it's not like something impossible we ain't seen in history ain't been overcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's not many fighters. If you're relying on Jermall Charlo's jab, and Jermall Charlo needs to make he needs to make that fight where he can dictate the pace. How do you dictate the pace with a man who's so much bigger than you? And you're relying on your jab to, create those openings with the 1-2s. How do you not think that David Benavidez knows what Jermall Charlo's bringing? So he's going to keep him at bay. he's going to try and make that so difficult that
And
Jamal
vice
Charlo.
versa.
Yeah, no, and we can agree on that. But what we got to remember is that have you seen Jamal Charlo fight a guy and dictate the pace who's bigger than him? We haven't seen that yet. So it's hard to say what Jamal Charlo will look like at 168. But one thing we can say, Canelo Alvarez showed us that he can deal with distance and he can deal with that range. So if Canelo Alvarez can do it, we're not saying Jamal Charlo can't, but you see that it can be done.
Yeah, but Canelo did it versus a lay down bum. If you comparing Callum Smith,
There's
don't
not a
compare
bum,
Callum
bro.
Smith to no
Listen,
goddamn.
This guy who's calling these fighters a bum, Callum Smith was a fucking champion, bro. He beat the fucking tournament. He was a WBA super champion.
He was
bro.
a
How the
bum.
fuck
He's
you
a
calling him
UK
bum?
bum.
You're
Bro,
a
he was
fucking
a
bum.
lay
You're
down.
saying that,
Hold
bro.
on.
Come on.
Hold on,
You
hold on.
can't
Time out.
dominate a
Hold
fucking-
on real quick. You know, so I'm gonna say this before I let you guys continue, because I just real soon I want to get on the Joshua and Fury topic. You know what I'm saying? I want to pretty much put an end to this topic in a minute. But Callum Smith, Myron Magnus, my brother, I love you.
He lost the fight before
but
that.
listen,
We all saw
Callum
it.
Smith
That was a fucking
Overrated
champion.
bum.
Callum Smith, bro. Now,
An
listen,
overrated bum.
bro, Callum Smith.
Man, this guy got
Trust
no
me.
respect for boxing, bro. Carry
You
on.
gotta remember, bro. Certain styles can
You don't got no
somewhat give you.
respect for our
No,
boxing.
hold on, just real talk, man. Let me just say this real quick, man, and then I'll let you guys cook. But let me say this: Callum Smith, certain styles. Just hold on, let me finish. Certain styles will give certain fighters a hard time, or give certain fighters trouble. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at Callum Smith is a very one of the best 168 pounders in that superweight, in the super middleweight. Hold on, he
got the Ring magazine for being.
I'm just saying,
He got the Ring magazine. He was a big slinky out there. Canelo beat him with the
He showed me that he can box. He showed me that he's a skilled fighter, bro. Just because he had a lackluster performance against John Ryder or whoever the fighter is, and I'm not calling that fighter a bum. That guy came to fight. It was just that fight was off. You know what I'm saying? He went up against one of the best fighters in the world, and that's Canelo Alvarez, a guy with a lot of experience, a guy that went up against so many styles, that evolved as a fighter, made so many adjustments to his game, and don't get me wrong. Callum Smith had moments in that fight. He did his thing. He did good. He had moments.
He didn't do shit in that fight.
No, I'm just saying. Canelo dominated, but Callum Smith still had moments in the fight where he showed that he's still a tough and skilled fighter.
You're right, Tucker. You're right, Tucker.
I'm just telling you, because like any
other fight, so he was laying down. Punch me, Canelo. Punch me, Canelo. Punch me all you want.
Any other fighter at 168 will have a hard time with Callum Smith. I promise you that. I promise you.
You know who Callum
And I
Smith was
think we got
before
a
a year
lot
and
of
a half
toxic
ago?
fans out there.
Nobody knew who Callum Smith was before a year and a half ago. We didn't know who the hell Callum Smith was. You know we didn't know who the hell he was. Canelo Alvarez on a European bum tour.
Nah, man. See, this is the problem. We got toxic fans who don't respect boxing. These are the kind of guys that you get who always shit on fighters who don't understand what it takes.
We did not know who Callum Smith was 2 years ago.
Why you don't let me speak,
I knew who he was 3 years ago, during the Super
I know
Series.
who Callum Smith was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I bet you knew him longer than me.
Let me just speak, bro. I know the whole Smith fucking fraternity. Every single brother's a boxer. They're fucking
And they all
amateur
losers.
pedigrees. Right? They're not fucking bums, bro. Bums are fucking fighter. Even a journeyman deserves respect. Tell the truth. A journeyman.
Did Canelo beat both of them? Canelo beat both of his brothers, right?
Let me speak,
Did
bro.
Canelo beat both brothers?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, listen. It doesn't
they
mean
both
listen, the man was a fucking champion, bro. He was a #1 WBA super title champion, bro. You gotta give Canelo Alvarez all the respect for the way that he dominated that fight. You can't take it away from him.
Here's the thing with Callum Smith, and he's kind of an enigma, right? Because yes, he was able to become the Ring Magazine super middleweight champion. Yes, he was able to defeat George Groves, but that is constituted at his best win that he's had in his professional career up to this particular point. When he entered the World Boxing Super Series, he pretty much at least fought one fighter in that Super Series that he wasn't originally scheduled to fight against. Like Nicky Holzman was not his original opponent that he was supposed to fight in the World Boxing Super Series, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's like, okay, Callum Smith's fighting a guy in Nicky Holzman that well, as you see with like, some people may not have, heard much about Callum Smith, at least over here on this side of the pond, but they definitely didn't know about a Nikki Holson, right? But outside of that, if you have, going into that fight against George Groves, where George Groves in the World Boxing Super Series semifinal defeated Chris Eubank, where many thought that Chris Eubank should have been able to defeat George Groves. He should have been able to beat George Groves, and he didn't. So in that World Boxing Super Series final, you had Callum Smith in there, who had the dimensions, the length, the reach, and everything that he should have been able to give George Groves problems, and he did. But the way that he fought that fight was he just walked through George Groves. And so he got that win. He was able to become the ring super middleweight champion and things like that. But at super middleweight as a whole, at that particular point, no one was really focusing on super middleweight as a deep division compared to the, middleweight or to, junior middleweight or welterweight or something like that. So
yeah, but what you guys don't realize is Callum Smith has a better resume than fucking Benavidez. Callum Smith had a better resume than Caleb Plant.
Well, but that's coming off of those fights that he's had.
So he was the better champion.
We're talking about but we're talking about a Callum Smith that after he had that World Boxing Super Series win, he went into Madison Square Garden on June 1st, 2019 to fight Hassan and Dom Jacob. Now, come on.
Well, what about it? He was fighting on the undercard, and he knocked him out in the third round after dropping him multiple times. People want to talk about
he was supposed to do that because we're talking about someone in Hassan and Dom that came up from 160 that had what was it? He wasn't even barely a champion at 160.
At 160, he held a regular title. No, he didn't lose to Lemieux. He lost to Ryota Murata in the rematch.
Okay, so then when he fought Lemieux, that was basically for a vacant title because it was vacant because of who was the guy that freaking messed up?
He'd come off of beating Curtis Stevens,
right? So
that was like 5 years ago, though.
Right? But no one was really thinking of Hassan and Dom as a viable or a highly ranked opponent to go up against Callum Smith as super middleweight. You see?
And I don't think people give him that type of credit. Like in fairness, like I said, he was a former champion guy, kind of moving up, and he completely smoked him. Like it wasn't even competitive. There was no contra. It was essentially a showcase fight on an undercard of Anthony Joshua, I'm pretty sure, and he absolutely stopped. He destroyed him.
But the thing is like, how many people are looking at Hassan and Dom as somebody that was even ranked at 160 as a highly ranked middleweight before coming up to super middleweight?
Like I said, at middleweight, he was at one point a world champion. I'm not talking about when he fought Lemieux. Hold up. You're asking me a question. You're asking me a question. So let me.
That's the thing, though. You're looking at him.
Nassam Haddad, was that the short black guy he punched who did like the backflip in the ring that was all theatrical and shit? Like the fight before, he had the braids. Did he have the braids?
Yeah, he had braids.
Yes, him. Who the hell was that? Come on, that's what I'm saying, man.
I just explained. So he's saying he's a guy moving up from middleweight, and I agree. It's not like he was a particularly worthy contender. Like this isn't one of his best wins or anything, but this was a guy who was a former world champion at middleweight, and he has wins over guys like Curtis Stevens, Ryota Murata, and Martin Murray.
The zone used him like he was a coming out party, beating that little guy. Go ahead, Boxer.
That 6 foot former middleweight, he demolished him. I don't know why we're talking about him. Why aren't we mentioning his wins over Eric Skoglund, or how he destroyed George Groves after George Groves absolutely schooled Chris Eubank? And right now, people are talking about Eubank versus Charlo. Eubank would be one of his best wins, and George Groves schooled him. Callum Smith knocked him out, but he hasn't beat anyone. It's kind of funny how that works out.
Eubank would not be one of Charlo's best win. Eubank is not better than Sergey Derevyanchenko.
I said one of his best wins, not his best win. I said one of his best wins. It would easily be in his top.
None of the guys you mentioned would beat Sergey Derevyanchenko, in my opinion.
Okay, listen. I said one of his best wins, not the best win on his resume.
I hear you.
One of his best wins.
Okay, but I'm saying, Charlo just beat a guy that's better than all of them.
Listen, I gotta leave. I gotta go. My device needs charging, but I just want to say this: Derevyanchenko lost to Daniel Jacobs. and then he lost to GGG.
And he had a close fight with Jack Colkay.
Right, and let me just say this as well. Jamal Charlo, if he didn't get that Shevchenko win, his resume was weak as fuck. But anyway, Tucker, I really appreciate you having me on there, bro.
Just like
And
Callum
Tucker,
Smith.
Hey,
Tucker,
hey,
I'm gonna
These guys you saying Callum Smith
bro.
was over there in the UK. We don't know who they are in America.
Time out, Myron. Hold on real quick, Myron. Hold on, Myron. Calm down, Myron.
Yo,
Rap star, man.
Spargus,
Tucker.
who the fuck is
appreciate you.
Spargus?
Hey,
I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me on here, bro.
Yo,
Peace,
you're
Rap
more
Star.
than welcome.
Peace, Rap
Anytime.
Star.
You having me on there, bro.
Hey, peace. Hey, Rap Star, all
Coming
respect,
on,
man.
Love and respect.
Hey, UK, peace out to Rap Star. It's all good talking to the brother. He a good dude. But stop
Hey, all
supporting
love,
him.
bro.
Be
All
loved.
love.
Hey, much love and respect, man. You're welcome to come on anytime you want to, bro. I love
No
my
doubt,
UK
Rap
brothers,
Star.
man.
But
We love our UK brothers, man.
Yeah, we
Real
send
talk.
down that B-level UK fight support shit.
Hey, listen.
Just because you don't know who the fighters are doesn't mean they're
Let me just
bad.
tell everybody this, bro. We love boxing, yeah? We're all passionate men. Even if we agree or don't agree, we got to be, we got to
Nobody
keep that
talking to you,
conversation
IBT.
swinging. We can't be talking over each other because the chat can't understand it. You get what I'm saying? Yo, look,
That's
I'm
true.
going to the gym, bro. Tucker, I'm going to invite you to my show next week. You can cook it up in England with us.
Most definitely, brother. I most definitely be there, man. Especially if I'm free. Hey, man, I'm available. I'm coming through, man, to show you some love, man. Most definitely.
Yeah, UK
and love to
bias
the
over there
panel.
on your
Let
chat.
me speak, bro. Love to the panel. Love to the chat. And I'm going to catch everyone soon, bro.
Peace
Much
and
love,
blessings,
Rap Star.
baby.
Shout out,
Peace.
brother.
Hey, it's like Byron's mad because of all that snow that's falling around us, man. That's what's going on, man.
Bringing that BK UK.
But I mean, my thing is, Callum Smith to me, like, and I kind of like feel what Myron is saying in this aspect because, like, when we're talking about guys that's super middleweight, and we bring up the guys like, the David Benavidez and the Caleb Plants that have been there at super middleweight and seen the fights that they've had where they, had convincing victories, whether it's against guys that, maybe are not at their level or not. At least they, have those convincing victories. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Callum Smith, it's like you have those victories over George Groves, but then you turn around and you have that performance that you had, where people thought that he lost a fight against John Ryder. So it's those type of inconsistencies that, have some people doubt Callum Smith at times. Sorry,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
But with Callum Smith, it's going to be interesting to see how he, it comes off of this particular fight against Canelo Alvarez, where, I just felt like he really didn't, if he was this guy that, was supposed to be viewed as one of the top super middleweights, he should have been able to be more competitive against Canelo. As good as Canelo is, I feel like Callum Smith still should have been able to be more competitive against Canelo Alvarez in that particular fight. So that's why I'm interested to see what he's going to do, even though he's kind of said that he wants to move up to 175. So if he makes that official, that kind of like nixes everything as far as like his presence in the super middleweight division, though.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But my response to like his performance versus John Ryder, I think it kind of came at a bad time, and I do think that as Americans, a lot of Americans have a biased view towards American fighters or against British fighters, right? I feel like we're a lot more accustomed, certainly, and vice versa. But I also feel like when we're talking about like when I say John Ryder or George Groves or Eric Skoglund, I'm hearing like, who is that? Or that's a bum, or they're shot, or they're washed. But then we're giving credit for, like I would say Skoglund was at a similar point in his career versus Callum as Charlo was versus J-Rock, right? Skoglund unfortunately didn't.
Let me defend that.
One second, I'm not done. I didn't finish. So Skoglund unfortunately.
Hold on, Myron. Hold on, big bro. Let me finish real quick.
Skoglund didn't get to go on. Skoglund didn't get to go on and become unified champ like J-Rock did because of an injury he sustained to his back. But you can also look at David Benavidez' first fight versus Ronald Gavril, where he got a split decision after being dropped in that fight. If you want to talk about Callum Smith having a controversial decision versus John Ryder, you can also bring up Benavidez' controversial decision against Ronald Gavril, where he actually got dropped and he was still given the victory. That's why they had to have a rematch, and that's why people are high on that win, was because they felt he lost, right? So I feel like it's kind of only one-way traffic here.
Okay, you know what? It's not one-way traffic, because I call it right down the middle. Before, as soon as I got on, I said I thought Korobov beat Charlo. Did I not?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am not biased, but I've been paying attention. Hold up. I've been paying attention to the little covert game, you know what I mean, that a lot of the UK brothers is doing. So I'm calling, and I'm being funny, and I'm being like overtly calling them bums just to get y'all hot, because I see how they very, very discreetly try to denigrate an American fighter to promote their own fighter. Now, if we don't know who the UK fighter is, okay, that's not our fault. That's because America is the biggest market. But all of the UK people know our fighters. So that's always how the game has been, bro. Unfortunately, we are the biggest market. And I'm not just saying this to throw in your face. We have the most fighters, the best and the most elite fighters per capita. Not saying every one of ours is more elite than yours. But if you
I'm from the US.
Let me finish up. I know where you are. I can hear your damn accent.
All right.
Well, I'm still saying this.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm still saying I can hear your accent here. That's your freaking American dude. Come on, what the hell? They still bring that bias, and I see it very, very. I've been watching this for the last 2 years. I see it, and it's all gravy. The thing is, when the fight came between Charlo, Korobov, I was easy to say Korobov won that fight. And then I thought Jermell Charlo maybe could have got the decision over Harrison. I'm always straight down the middle. But I do see the UK people, kind of slickly try to go ahead and promote theirs in America. Why? Because they need the American fans to pay more attention to their fighters, to build it up for the zone and blase, because that's what the zone was trying to be here to do. And so I see that. And so I'm doing my shit to counteract that shit, because I was like, you know what? You're not giving the same cutting it down the middle like I cut it down the middle for all fighters on both sides of the pump. I'm willing to say Korobov beat Charlo, but you're not willing to go ahead and do it the other way around for the American fighter versus, Callum Smith or this, or try to say, well, Eubanks would be a good fight for Charlo. Blase. Eubanks ain't proved himself in America to honestly say he a good fight for Charlo. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I'm balancing the field because I see that game being played. And I say that respectfully, not to be disrespecting nobody, but I'm just calling it how I freaking see it. And I've always done that down the middle. And be in the room, and I'm going to be that elephant in the fucking room. I love everybody, all my brothers on the panel, IBT, Boxing Source, Rap Star, and Andrew Tucker's World, baby. I took a break out to come talk to y'all because this is one of the best channels of all the YouTube boxing community.
And I love you too. The great Myron Magnus, Boxing Lodges United. You know what I'm saying? One of the generals. You know, much love and respect, man. You know, I love having you, man. You three guys on this panel, including Rap Star, are very knowledgeable when it comes to boxing, man. And we might have difference in opinions, but it's all boxing talk, man. So it's all nothing but love and respect, whether it's coming from Asia, Europe, whether it's coming from North America, South America, whatever country you in those continents, I have nothing but love and respect for all of y'all and all around the world when it comes to talking boxing. May be difference of opinion, we may see something different, but it's all about having boxing talk, man, and having love and respect for one another, bro. That's what it's all about.
Call it down the middle. That's all I'm saying. Don't be on that BS, bye. I love it, though.
Love you too, bro.
I'm out of here, man. I'll catch y'all later. I'm going to fire this bitch up tonight once I get home and get drunk. I'm going live on Boxing Brew. Peace out, y'all. Peace and beauty.
All right.
Boxing Source, I talk to you later.
All right, man.
You have a good one, Myron.
My brother Jay Blues. Hold on, let me mute you. Welcome to the live stream, man. like I want to. It's one more topic, man. I want to touch up on, man, before I put it into the stream. I want to talk. I want to talk about, man, the Joshua Fury. I want to talk about that, man. It's a lot of other topics I got coming soon when it comes to a lot of other fights. Of course, a lot of other fights. Hopefully that could potentially be made very soon. But I want to talk about Joshua and Fury. I want to move the topic on to that topic, man. Move past the the Canelo Saunders situation. I want to talk about the Joshua and Fury situation. So, how y'all feel about that fight, and who y'all feel may win, or is just a 50-50 fight, or just a close fight, or you guys may feel this fighter will win, that fighter may win? How you guys see that fight going?
Yo, what up, Andrew, IBT, Boxing Source? What's going on, y'all? For real,
Yo, what's good, man?
What's going on, Jay Blues? Much love and respect, my brother.
I just see Tyson fainting the shit out of him, making him hesitate, piecing him up, beating him the fuck up, and taking his breath away from him in that anticipation of being hit. Like, unless Joshua just steps to him and fires on him and jabs him in his chest when he does that herky-jerky feint bullshit, like, sees through the smoke and the mirrors and just fights forward, bro. If he doesn't do that, he is going to be in a lot of fucking trouble. He's going to be a world of hurt, man. I don't see any way other than that Joshua can win, man.
Okay, what you think, the Boxing Source?
Strategically, it depends on Anthony Joshua and his head movement. We know what Tyson Fury does. He's able to, work in with his head feints and try to, move in and move out with the jab and stuff like that. But, both of these guys have, seen versions of each other in two different time periods. At one point before they were both world champs, and, now at this particular point of their career where you have Joshua as being a unified champ and Fury being the WBC champion. Both of those guys, kind of have a lot of skills between both of them. And the thing is, I feel like it depends on the condition that Tyson Fury is going to be in that particular fight. If he's, trying to be in there like the rematch against Wilder, where he was like 270 plus or anything like that, I feel like he's not going to be able to move very well against someone like Joshua, who might come in to try to be aggressive, come forward, and then try to close things off. Because if Joshua gets on the inside against Fury, that's going to be a big problem for him. So I think Fury has to be a little bit more mobile against someone like Joshua, who, while he does have good head movement, his foot movement is not necessarily as good as Tyson Fury's is. So I think that Fury will have to be, doing well on his back foot, be able to, control the jab, control the pace, in order to, have a better, fight against Anthony Joshua. But it's something where this could be one of the best fights in the heavyweight division for, in the past couple of decades at least. So it'll be a very good one.
Okay, my brother IBT, what you think, my brother?
Yeah, I think a lot of this fight depends on the distance and where in the ring the fight's happening, right? AJ is obviously the bigger puncher, the better combination puncher. He's the guy who's more likely to put his opponent to sleep with like 4 or 5 punches if he can put them together, right? Tyson Fury, however, he's the more elusive boxer. He's got the longer range. He's got the he's coming off of good momentum with that Wilder win, although it's been a little while. I see the way this fight's going is Fury will have to use his jab. He'll have to move around. He'll have to commit to the 1-2, change his style within the fight and within the rounds. And I think he needs to stay active, because one thing we've noticed in his fights versus Klitschko and Wilder, his two biggest fights, right, is the rounds he did win, they weren't... It's not like they were swing rounds, but they were very close, right? Like if Vlad or Wilder had thrown more or landed more, it's very possible he would have lost those rounds. Fury doesn't win rounds emphatically. He kind of edges them out. And versus Anthony Joshua, he's probably going to be landing the cleaner punches, the more eye-catching punches. So that's something he's going to be have to watch out for. While Fury does have very good head movement, I will say one thing that has been overlooked in terms of a vulnerability by many is his body. He's obviously not a very vascular guy. You know, he's a little chubby around the around the midsection. And if AJ can work to the body, actually commit combinations to the body, not just jabs, although jabs would be good too, right? If you can actually walk Fury down, maybe get him along the ropes, or just get him where he's in a bad position and throw some hooks or uppercuts to the body, I think that'll go a long way in stopping some of that movement, and it'll make that head movement really irrelevant because, you know, as much as he moves his head around, that big old body is still standing right there in front of him. So it'll be a lot of it will be who's going to be better in the clinch as well. Tyson Fury's clinch game, he's strong with it, but he's not very intelligent with it. He'll just kind of wrap you up and lean on you, right? And if AJ can figure out a way to maybe make space with the shoulder in the clinch, I think the big tool for him will be the hooks to the body, the left hook, and the uppercuts, right? The right hand will be good too, but we've seen Fury versus guys who have big right hands. It's not necessarily effective. You're going to need to put your punches together. You can't just have one big punch because he'll move out of the way or he'll roll with it and it won't be effective. Yeah, that's what I think. It's 50-50. I'm thinking, man, I really don't have a solid prediction yet, but
Okay.
I don't think either guy knocks each other out. I think it's probably a close points fight. I'm favoring AJ right now, but that could change next week, to be honest.
Okay, so we got AG, you know, a guy in the chat. He said Fury stops AJ in 9 rounds. Do any one of you guys agree with that?
Eighth, ninth round. I see the towel coming in like water, man.
It could happen. It could happen.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I would have to see like where Fury would have the significant advantage over those first 5 or 6 rounds to where he would, you know, have Joshua in that much trouble like that. You know, so that would be my thing.
I think it's also important to consider what they look like when they weigh in, right? Is it the Fury that fought Wilder the first time, or Klitschko the first time, or is it the one that fought Wilder the second time, a little bigger? Is it the AJ that's a little slimmer and moving around, or is it the big bulky AJ who's going to try to seek and destroy? It's a very complicated fight.
Yeah, I most definitely hear it. Every single one of you guys coming from. Like, honestly, I just think it's just like one of those fights. Like, you know, it's going to be you got 2 very skilled heavyweights, honestly. And people, though, I don't know if people know this or not, but Anthony Joshua is a very good counterpuncher. You know what I mean? And, you know, you can say that with Tyson Fury's got the longer reach. He's good at working off his jab to set up the 1-2s, to set up the 2-punch, 3-punch combination. He got the little herky-jerky style. He's good at moving his head. He got good footwork. He's good at pivoting. He's good at, you know, with a lateral mover. So he's good at, you know, frustrating his opponent, getting in and getting out. You know what I mean? And, you know, with good head movement, and good at slipping punches, and he feints to, you know, throw his opponent off. But I feel like Anthony Joshua is a smart fighter. I don't think I just think that I can just see the fight going back and like I can see them going back and forth. You know what I mean? Honestly, I can see them going back and forth. My only concern is Tyson Fury taking too many power shots from Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? That's what my concern. That's what I'm worried about, taking too many big shots from Anthony Joshua. You know, because we know that Anthony Joshua is a very big puncher. You know what I mean? And whether he's going to the body, whether it's going up top. You know what I mean? But we know that Anthony Joshua is a good boxer as well. People were like, well, he just this front foot dominant fighter, just come forward, walk him down, just beat you up with throwing mean combinations and things of that nature. No, Anthony Joshua can actually box, and he showed us quite a few times that he can box. He showed us that he can box when he just previously, you know, in his last fight, you know what I mean, when he went up against Kubrat Pulev, he showed us that he can box, and he also dominated the fight. You know what I mean? So, and he also showed us that he can box when he went up against Andy Ruiz Jr. in the rematch. You know what I mean? So Anthony Joshua can make adjustments. He's good at making adjustments, like Tyson Fury. He's also a smart fighter, like Tyson Fury. People saying he's robotic and he's slow and things of that nature. Anthony Joshua can move, and from what I've seen lately, he's gotten a lot faster on his feet, and he's moving a lot better. Both of these fighters have gotten better since their last fight. and they will be better going into this fight against each other versus their last fight. You know, and they're still in their prime, and I just feel like both fighters will know they have to be smart going into the fight. I think Tyson Fury already know that he can't do what he did against Wilder in the rematch. You know, I know style make fights, and I say this all the time. Yeah, Fury struggled with a style like against a fighter like, and with a style like Otto Wallin. You know what I'm saying? Where people felt he should have easily outboxed Otto Wallin and just stopped him late. You know, but his style gave him trouble because, like I say, style makes fights, and sometimes a style can give you trouble, and you got to kind of it's kind of hard to like catch on to a certain style, you know, so you have to be smart and make the necessary adjustments. So just like Joshua had to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to beat a fighter with a very dangerous style like Andy Ruiz Jr. So at the end of the day, you know, style makes fights, and I think those styles collide. It makes a very entertaining fight. That's why this fight to me is a 50-50 fight. But I just slightly give the edge to, you know, and I know both fighters going to be smart. Both fighters is going to get in that ring and know that I can't afford to make any type of mistake with this man right here. I can't do it. I got to be in great shape. I got to be prepared mentally and physically. I can't afford to make no type of mistake. Joshua knows that going up against Fury, he knows that he has to make necessary adjustments and he has to be smart. You know what I mean? He has to fight a smart fight. Tyson Fury knows he has to fight a smart fight. What he did against Wilder in the rematch, walking forward with that crunk style, you know, loading up and things and walking wild. No, that's not going to work against Joshua. Joshua too smart for that. Slightly, I just think the power, it comes down to who's going to want it more than the other. And I just think it's going to take the will of the fighter digging down deep, because we know that Joshua has to come in shape. You know, he knows to fade, you know, in the mid, you know, and also late rounds, you know, so his conditioning got to be on point, everything, you know what I mean? Or going up against Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, the same applies to Tyson Fury, you know, so I just think that it's just one of those fights. We have to see what happens. It's a 50-50 fight, but my gut feeling, and I slightly lean towards my gut feeling, and I kind of feel that Joshua in the power could be the slight advantage, you know, going into the fight. Joshua's power, you know, going to Fury's body, countering with good straight right hands, and then the uppercut setting him up, you know, and Fury's smart. So Fury know he can't fall into those traps, and he's a very smart fighter. I give it to him. They're both smart fighters. So it's just one of those fights, man. It's just 50-50, but I slightly get an edge to Anthony Joshua when it comes to the power.
Yeah, I can see that. I think both guys have a lot of strengths and weaknesses that play into each other's hands. Fury's good defensively, like I said, but I worry about his vulnerability to the body, or maybe the way he moves his head. Like in the first Wilder fight, he moved it in the same way. He would go either left or right and then down, and that's when Wilder caught him with that big knockdown in round 12. And with AJ, I think he could work on his jab a little more. Not that I don't think his jab currently is good, but he kind of pushes his jab out. He doesn't really snap it. It's not as like quick twitch fibers in his arm. He's kind of like pushing it out there and using it to find range and set up his other punches. I think if he can set up just a quick power jab or stiff jab, that would be really effective against someone like Fury, especially since Fury is one of the first guys that AJ's fighting who's on a similar height. You know, he's actually taller than him, right? If you want to look at the fight versus Reese, Povetkin, those guys were all more recently, and those were guys who are shorter than him by a significant margin. Pulev, who was only slightly shorter than him, obviously not on the same level as Fury, but was getting completely outboxed and dominated for the duration of the fight. So I think it'll be a really good style mesh.
My whole thing is pressure, man. AJ does not like pressure, does not like to be extremely pressured, especially by a dude who's taller and bigger than him and more skilled. Like, AJ ain't got enough in skill to match Fury. If he tries to outbox Fury, tries to box him, period, he's going to be found coming up short, man. Like, he's got to do what IBT said and stick that stiff jab in his chest, bro. Like, step through Fury's bullshit. Make him miss, but at the same time, pressure him, man. Like, AJ's got to take the fight to Fury. He can't sit there and try to – because, dude, he was hesitant against Pulev. He didn't get off to the third round. And when he does come forward, he throws these. Sometimes he unloads, man. AJ has this weird thing where he unloads on 4 or 5 punches. And if he does that 2 or 3 times, he's going to be done, man. He's going to be dead in the fucking water.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Honestly, I don't think either guy likes pressure. Like, if you watch Fury's fights where he has difficulty, the John McDermott fight, the Chisora fight, the Otto Wallin fight, all those guys gave him pressure. They were constantly coming forward, volume, working the body. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the type of fight that gives him trouble. The volume, the combinations. Fury, if you've got a big puncher in front of him, Vladimir Klitschko, one of the heaviest punchers in the heavyweight history, Deontay Wilder, one of the biggest punchers in heavyweight history. But these aren't guys who are putting their punches together, right? This isn't like a double left hook to the body, right hand uppercut. It's not like that. It's big right hand, all right, jab, big right hand. And it's that kind of pace favors Fury a lot. But if AJ can really push it to him, if he can get his strength, walk Fury down, work the body, then I think he's going to have a little more difficulty. Whoever handles the pressure better is going to be the one who comes out victorious. A lot of it is mental stamina as well, right? I think AJ getting stopped, he's not going to get slept like Dillian White did versus Povetkin. It would be more like in the Reese fight, or it would be more like from exhaustion almost. You know what I mean? Like just not making it to his feet, or he gets to his feet and he's kind of wobbling around. Same with Fury. I don't see Fury being able to get put to sleep like that. I just think that guy's got too much heart. He's got too much hunger. Right? We saw that versus Wilder in the second fight. Sorry, in the first fight. Anyone else got anything they want to add?
No, I mean, I just feel like it's something where, like you were bringing up in reference to Tyson Fury not liking pressure fighters either. That, I think that, with Joshua, he has to be, really aggressive or coming forward against Tyson Fury, in that he has to say, okay, what do you have that would make me respect you? Like, if you have anything as far as power punches that makes me respect you, then I'll, come at you differently. But if you don't have any power or anything behind your punch, I'm going to just walk right through you, smother you, and then just beat you on the inside. So when we talk about Tyson Fury and his, how he's going to come into the fight, he might have to come in with some power behind his punch, or else Joshua will be able to, walk through him later on in the round. So even though Joshua kind of does have the thing where he tires out a lot, but if he just controls his pace and everything, that's what he's been working on, is just controlling his pace, controlling his punch output, so that he would be able to finish guys late, like he did against Pulev. He was able to finish him late because he had that type of energy in order to do that. So I think that's what he's, going to be working on against Tyson Fury once that fight happens.
Yeah, just a theoretical, hypothetical situation, right? In the Otto Wallin fight, I thought Fury won, but I thought Wallin actually won quite a few rounds, and the cut that he had, Fury, the cut that he'd sustained, and the competitiveness of the fight. If Otto Wallin was able to keep up that pace and that output, and he had more power, right? Because we can all agree Otto Wallin didn't really have a lot of power, right? If Otto Wallin was able to demonstrate as much power as a Joseph Parker, right? Not necessarily a concussive puncher, but a solid puncher, he would have been able to stop him. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. He would have been able to work on the cuts. And really stun Tyson Fury at times. So
exactly. And we know AJ has that power. He has more power than Joseph Parker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
the AJ would have most definitely. It would have been a different situation, a different story, and like I say, style makes fights. I do a lot of film study, and I know all of us do that. We do film study. We study these fighters. We pay attention to what they do great and what they don't do that well. But honestly, I just feel like just certain styles. It's just going to take you a little bit more time to make adjustments or to get used to a certain style, or it might be a certain style you didn't prepare for. You know what I mean? And I just think that, you know, AJ's style and what AJ is able to do, I just feel like it's going to give Fury it's going to be moments of fight give Fury a hard time. You know what I mean? And I can see how in a way that Fury can in a way frustrate Anthony Joshua. So it's just one of those fights. It's just one of those 50-50 close fights. You know what I mean? People think that Fury can just easily go in there and outbox Joshua. No, Anthony Joshua is very athletic. I don't know if people know that or not. But it's not how Fury going to easily go in there and outbox. No, I don't. I just think that it'd be back and forth, and the fight can be very closer than what people think. You know what I mean? And I think the thing is, if Fury can't really if he can't hurt Joshua, you know, if he can't hurt Joshua, like my honest opinion, if he can't hurt Joshua, and Joshua walks through his punches, or Joshua's going to be he's going to be moving his head. He's going to be slipping punches. He's going to be moving his head. And as you've seen against Andrew Ruiz Jr., he's going to make sure he be smart and not try to make too many mistakes. You know, but at the end of the day, if Fury can't hurt him, and if Fury do land and Fury can't hurt him, Joshua able to walk through that, it could be a problem for Fury. You know, because Joshua's going to be looking at moments of the fight to come forward. I kind of feel that he may probably be to take the fight to Fury in a way. Use the jab to work his way on the inside to start digging down to the body, going up to the head and stuff. Fury can't afford to get hit with the hooks or the uppercuts. No. He can't. No. Fury going to have to be smart, and I know Fury is going to be smart. But at the end of the day, I just feel like he can't take too many power punches or power shots from Anthony Joshua, because I think eventually that's going to wear him down. And if Joshua able to wear him down with coming forward, being aggressive and landing big shots on him, then that's going to be a problem. So Fury's going to have to stick and move his head, pivot, lateral movement, and things of that nature, the herky jerky to throw Anthony Joshua off. But Joshua's going to be moving along with him. And I just feel like that's why he's been working on perfecting his footwork. You know, as you see him doing the jump rope, and you see him, you know, with the shadow boxing and things like that, he's gotten a little faster on his feet versus certain fights. You know, he's not the same fighter that fought Vladimir Klitschko. I'm sorry, he's not. He's not the same fighter that lost to Andrew Ruiz the first fight. He's a little better than the rematch, and he's also, I believe, is going to be better than his last fight was the Pulev fight. So we're going to see a different Joshua. We're going to see a different Joshua. I just think that this Joshua most definitely is going to be different from what we saw the last fight, and I think he's going to be better, you know. And I think that fighter is going to be ready and prepared for a Tyson Fury. He's going to have to be, because if he can't afford to make too many mistakes, he can't afford to fall into Fury's trap, because if he falls into Fury's trap and Fury, you know, frustrates Joshua, then Fury's going to get him. You know what I'm saying? Hands down. And I don't see Fury stopping him. And if he do stop him, it's accumulation of punches and maybe a late round TKO. They'll have to stop the fight. But at the end of the day, that's the only way I can see Fury stopping Joshua. But I can see also Joshua stopping Fury. But it's more me seeing Joshua stop Fury than Fury stopping Joshua, honestly. But it's just it's going to be one of those fights, man. It's going to be very competitive, a really good, entertaining fight. And we're going to be, because some people are going to be surprised how Joshua show up for that fight and how Fury show up for that fight. This is going to be a good fight, man. It's 50-50 for me. I slightly lean towards Joshua, but hey, I would not be surprised if Fury wins and wins a unanimous decision, or maybe be close, a split or whatever, but it's just going to be a good fight, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. And I wanted to thank you for having me on. I do have to bounce for a little bit. Maybe I'll come back if you're still live later, but appreciate you having me on. It was a great live stream. Shout out to the panel, everyone that came on in the chat. You guys have a good one.
Peace out, IBT.
Peace out.
Peace out, my brother. Appreciate you, man, for coming on, my brother. Much love.
Good to have you back, bro.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. I know it's been 3 months, but you know, I had to come back, man, and join you brothers, man. You know, and when it comes to boxing talk and talking about this boxing, man, and being active and being busy and having you guys on, man, means a lot to me, man. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys as well.
Yeah, for sure. Peace.
Later, bro. Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. The boxing source, J Blues. Y'all got any last thoughts or anything y'all want to say before I wrap this up, man?
Nah, just have the thing for a podcast tonight, 7:30 Eastern time. So just check out my social media channels, man. We gonna be at it starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to talk about the Plant and Truax fight card and other news. So we're gonna continue the boxing talk here later tonight.
Okay, yes, sir. And I got some business to take care of, but I'm gonna make sure, man, if I'm available, I wanna come through, man, and show support, show love, and check you out, bro, because I already know you be going in, man. I know you be cooking. So I wanna most definitely make sure I be there, man, and support you, man, and hear you guys cook on that topic, man. So, I most definitely, if I can, I'll most definitely try to tune in, my brother.
Yeah,
and you guys, make sure if you guys ain't subscribed, make sure you go subscribe to the Boxing Source. My brother J Blues Radio, also subscribe to his channel as well. That's my brother right there. You know what I mean? So J Blues, any final thoughts, my brother?
Nah, thanks for having me on, bro. I had to come over here and say what's up to you. You back on the original channel, the OG channel, your shit, man. You back on Andrew Tucker World.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's good to be back, man. It's great to have you guys, man, come show me love and come show support, man, and cook with me on these topics and on this boxing, man. So I appreciate you guys as well, man.
Yeah, it's all up. I'm gonna pull up on your live Boxing Source. I'll be there, man.
All
right. Peace out, fellas.
All right, later, J Blues. Boxing Source, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm finna go ahead and wrap this up. To the chat, much love and respect to every single one of y'all that came through. Appreciate y'all coming through, man, showing love to the channel. And like I said, if you're not subscribed to the Boxing Source channel, make sure you subscribe and make sure you guys go check out his live tonight. This brother is very knowledgeable. This brother is one of the generals in the YouTube boxing communities. So continuously show him love and support, man. Much love and respect. I'm out, Andrew Tucker World, and I'm out, baby. Much love and respect.